Iberia 31 Bravo Hotel identified. Descend to flight level 100.
Seattle departure, Cessna 598 Mike Tango is 1 mile south of Renton Airport, 2,500. Cessna 172, request flight following to Boeing Field.
Cessna 598 Mike Tango, Seattle departure, radar contact.
Yes, that's right, guys. If you haven't heard it already, VATSIM is officially coming out during the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. How awesome is that? So in this video, I'm going to be getting more into detail about how to pick up your IFR clearance in VATSIM. Of course, I don't have Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, but in this video you're about to see next, I'll be using X-Plane 11. Since right now it is one of the only 2 simulators which VATSIM is compatible with. So without further ado, we'll show you guys how to get your IFR clearance. Hello everyone, my name is MSFS2020 like always. Today I'm bringing you guys a quick and easy tutorial. Just getting ready for those of you who are going to be new to VATSIM, who are going to be new to Flight Sim because of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's a quick and easy tutorial how to read back your IFR clearance and how to request your IFR clearance on VATSIM. So this
Memphis ground, FedEx 6681 ready to taxi.
So this process is pretty easy.
FedEx 6681 runway 27 taxi.
It's really just, practicing and getting the hang of it, really. That's all it is. But yeah, it does require some practice, obviously, as with the whole talking ATC thing does. But basically what I've done that makes it a whole ton easier is to get a piece of paper and a pen to have it to write down your clearance, and a special acronym that I always like to use is the CRAFT acronym. So I write down C, then an R below the C, an A below the R, an F below the A, and a T below the F, spelling out CRAFT. And so what each of these stands, so let's go ahead and start with C. So what C stands for is clear to. So whenever the ATC person, or in this case Memphis ground, because I'm sitting here in Memphis, he's gonna read me back the clearance in the order in which the CRAFT acronym is. So he's gonna read me back the airport I'm clear to, which that's what C stands for.
81 contact Memphis Center on 133.65. Have a good flight.
And then
contact Memphis Center on
let me lower down the volume here. ATC is a bit loud.
Memphis ground.
I'm gonna just lower it down in the background for now. So as I was saying, the C stands for the airport you're clear to. So clear to, and then your R out of CRAFT is gonna stand for your route. So that's gonna include your departure, which means your SID, your standard instrumental departure, then the transition or a direct to, and then they will most likely tell you as filed. So in order to make this easier, I simply just beforehand I like to go into my sim brief, which is something I'll probably go over in another future video, which is software that I use to file my flight plan and to get my routes. And I actually also love using skyvector.com because it shows you the charts for the departures, and I always go ahead and review the whole departure, like the top altitude, the waypoints that I'm gonna hit, and the transitions. That way when ATC reads back my clearance, I'm ready for in case something gets changed or whatnot. But I'm pretty much just prepared so that I kind of know what he's gonna read back, so I'm pretty much ready. And what I like to do is actually I open up and switch. I alt tab from X-Plane 11 or whatever sim you're using. I alt tab over to SkyVector, and as he's reading back my clearance, if he reads back the exact departure that I filed on VATSIM in the exact transition in the whole route, then I simply just don't even write it down on the paper. I just save that time, and if he reads it back, I know that I'm gonna have to read back my departure and my transition and then the as filed, which makes it a whole ton easier. But like I said, you just gotta do your homework, guys. You gotta be prepared. You have to know what's coming. You always want to be ahead of the game when it comes to flying online and just flying in real life in general. So I'm gonna move on to the A in CRAFT. So the A stands for the altitude. So as I was saying, usually standard instrumental departures, which are called SIDs, have a top altitude written in the departure chart. Some will tell you, and some will tell you that ATC will assign you your top altitude. So if it does say that, the ATC should read you back what altitude to climb to. And if not, if they want you to climb, if they say climb via the SID, that means that you should put into your airplane that top altitude. So in this case, today we're flying the Binky 5 departure RNAV out of Memphis, and I'm looking at my chart here and it says top altitude 5,000. So I simply already go into my airplane even before asking for the clearance, and I put in 5,000 as my top altitude. And so yeah, when you fly, and let's say I get climb via SID, I know that the top altitude I can climb to is 5,000, and that's all I'm cleared up to. If I get to 5,000 and I level out and I still don't get my clearance to climb up higher, then I have to stay at that altitude, as that is the top altitude of the SID. But if I get a different altitude, let's say he says he reads me back, climb and maintain 8,000, expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure, then I'm obviously going to change it. But he's more than likely, as you guys will see here once I get my clearance, he's more than likely going to give me 5,000 as my climb and maintain and expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. That's more than likely what he's going to tell me. Let's see, so we got the cleared, we got the route, we got the altitude, and your F stands for your departure frequency. So in VATSIM, if you want to be prepared and just have it written down already, you can go into, in my case, I'm using X-Plane 11, so I use the X-Pilot client, and I can actually see here, like right now, for example, there is no Memphis approach or anything. I think Memphis Center actually just went offline, so I'm more than likely probably just going to get departure frequency offline. But in another case, that's where you would write down your departure frequency. So like 126.9 or whatever frequency you get. So that's your F, and then finally your T on craft is going to be your transponder code. So that's going to be your squawk code. So your squawk code is a code which ATC uses to track you on their radar. So every airplane in the sky pretty much has their own transponder code, and if you're flying IFR, you'll get a unique one. But obviously when you're flying VFR, we all know that the standard squawk code is 1200, but in VATSIM it's actually 2000. So every time you're flying offline or you're just flying VFR, you squawk 2000. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. As far as I can tell you on how to get prepared, and a little tips that I have in my mind that I use, little tips and tricks that I use to make it so much easier for me and just make it a faster process. So enough talking, and let's actually go ahead and get our clearance. So today we're going to be flying from Memphis to Austin, just so that you guys know. I think I'm going to have to restart my X-Pilot client because I had a different microphone set up. Oh, never mind, it's coming through.
69 Heavy, I have your flight plan device ready.
Test. Yep. Oh yeah, another thing guys, you always want to get your ATIS information as well for your airport. If it's online, then you obviously look at your ATIS, you look at your weather, which tells you your weather, what runways are being used, and any special NOTAMs that you need to know about. And you want to make sure you have that information. So as you guys will hear, when I try and get my IFR clearance, I'm gonna let him know that I have information alpha in this case. Somebody just got their clearance now. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our clearance in, guys. So just, if you're practicing this, you may want to practice with me and, you know, just write down the read back. So he's going to read it back in the order of the craft, as I was saying. So I'm going to go from my C to my R to my A to my F to my T. So here we go. Memphis ground, good afternoon. American 79 with information alpha, looking to pick up our IFR over to Austin.
American 79, Memphis ground, you are cleared to the Austin Bergstrom International Airport by the Binky 5 departure. Base but transition, then as filed. Maintain 5,000, expect level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency will be on Unicom on 122.8. Squawk 0705.
Alright, we are cleared over to Austin via the Binky 5 departure, BASB transition, and as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is on Unicom 122.8 and will be squawking 0705 for American 79.
American 79, read back correct. Expect runway 36 center for departure. Push and start at your discretion. Call for taxi. Altimeter 3012.
3012, and we'll push back our discretion. Let you know when ready for taxi and expecting 36 center for departure. American 79. So there you guys heard it. That is how you get your IFR clearance, and that is how you read it back. So yeah, pretty much you want to get your ATIS down. You want to know what information you have. You let them know what aircraft you are. So in my case, it was flight American 79, and I let him know that I want to pick up my IFR clearance to Austin, and he reads it back as I said. So he said, American 79, you're clear to Austin via the Binky 5 departure, BASB transition, then is filed. Climb and maintain 5,000. Expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is on Unicom 122.8 and squawk 0705. And that's exactly what I read back. And so I got my clearance correct. And then usually in VATSIM after your clearance, the ground will instruct you if you can push back at your own discretion. Sometimes you do have to ask for clearance to push and start.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Now he told me it was at my own discretion, so I just have to watch out for other airplanes pushing back and just call them when I'm ready for taxis. It makes the process a whole lot easier. So yeah guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned this video and it helped you a lot. I know a lot of you guys are going to be new to the VATSIM world because of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I'm going to be releasing more of these quick and easy tutorials to help you guys out, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out a tutorial. Anyways guys, I will see you on the next one. Take care.